When you apply heavy, targeted resistance to the pectoral muscles, the resulting mechanical tension forces the fibers to contract rapidly. To harness that tension, we use a mapped 6-step protocol engineered for rapid chest growth through precise spatial positioning. Before starting, you will need a few basic pieces of hardware: adjustable benches, a set of dumbbells, a dip station, and a crossover cable machine. Mastering the strict biomechanics of these specific 6 movements ensures the load stays entirely on the muscle tissue, preventing the joint failure that frequently derails lifters. Step 1 is the flat dumbbell bench press. This serves as the foundational load bearer for the entire chest routine. The essential requirement here is your elbow alignment. You must tuck them close to your torso as you lower the weight, rather than letting them slare outward. Keeping the arms tucked actively shields your vulnerable shoulder capsule from absorbing undue stress at the bottom of the movement. To maintain spinal stability, look at this wireframe. Your back must remain completely flat against the bench surface throughout the entire lift. Step 2 targets the upper pectoral fibers. As the bench tilts upward for the incline dumbbell bench press, your torso positioning remains identical. You must apply this same strict rule. Keep your back pressed firmly against the incline pad. Do not allow your lower back to arch away from the surface during the press. Anchoring the spine during these heavy presses isolates the mechanical tension. The force is directed completely onto the pectoral fibers, rather than leaking into secondary stabilizers. Step 3 shifts the focus to lower and outer pectoral engagement, using suspended body weight with the chest dip. Your mandatory posture for the dip is strict. Lock your shoulders down and pull them tightly back to maintain constant tension on the chest. Watch how this arm extends upward, but freezes just before the joint fully locks out. This is a critical biomechanical failure point to avoid. You must maintain this soft elbow bend during the top of the dip. Pushing into full lockout transfers the weight entirely onto the elbow joint, causing severe strain. For step 4, the dumbbell fly, the protocol moves away from pushing mechanics and into a targeted isolation stretch. As shown in this vector graphic, you must hold a fixed slight degree of elbow flexion. That specific angle must remain rigidly locked throughout the entire downward and upward arc. When you initiate the upward phase, do it purely by visualizing and contracting the pectoral muscle to bring the weight up, rather than pulling with your arms. Managing the exact degree of elbow flexion in these isolation arcs determines whether you get optimal muscle stimulation or risk a catastrophic joint injury. Step 5 begins the high-density burnout phase. The standing straight crossover maximizes the inner chest and forces a deep stretch response. Strict postural control is necessary during the forward pull. Avoid using any bodily momentum to swing the cables forward. This heat map illustrates the exact moment of peak contraction when your hands meet. This is where you apply a deliberate, intense squeeze of the muscle fibers. Step 6 is the final exhaustion movement, the dumbbell Sven press. Notice the dual action mechanic in this sequence. You push the heavy weight straight forward while simultaneously crushing the metal plates forcefully together. Even under intense fatigue, apply the overarching safety rule. Stop just short of full elbow extension at the furthest point of the press. Forcing these intense isometric contractions under high fatigue creates the specific muscular adaptation required for rapid growth. The complete structural map hits the flat, incline, and vertical planes through a precise mix of presses, flies, and dips. To execute it correctly, you must adhere to the non-negotiable laws of form, maintain constant spinal anchoring, hold perpetual slight elbow flexion, and actively squeeze at peak contraction. Strictly following these mechanical rules translates raw, unfocused gym effort into safe, accelerated pectoral development. Implement this exact 6-step sequence during your next chest day and subscribe to Z Workout for more biomechanical breakdowns.